Let me know when you can see me. Hello, Fernando. Yay! Read this down. Oh, that hurt. How are y'all doing today? Oh, man. Love you too, DJ. Man, okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I started reading the book Wednesday after the live stream, and I got about 50 pages in, and then I didn't even have a chance to finish to like read any more until last night. So last night I read about 70 pages because I was so busy over the weekend. I was tired. So, but I got through it. I got through it. Hey, Debbie. All right, so I don't know how to start this, so I guess I'll just start talking and you all can chime in whenever you feel like it. Um, Fernando. um, it's it's weird to read a book after you've seen the TV show or the movie. You know, it's one thing to read the book because you go in knowing what to expect, and then you can appreciate the movie for the interpretation that it is. But once you've watched that first, and then you go back to read the book, it's a little weird. Rome will be out on Monday, Brandon. It's so strange to kind of know what's happening in a book. I never do that. I always, if I watch a show or movie, I never read the book. So this is a new experience for me. um, let's see. Oh, Debbie, don't get me started. We just started, Debbie. Like, calm down. All right. Let's see. Um, one of the things I will say, I love the detail that he puts into the book. Not of like the descriptions of everything, because I hate descriptions. I'm always like, okay, yeah, like the tree, it's autumn and there are leaves on the trees. I get it. But just the way he describes um, their actions, like what they're doing in the moment, I love that there's so much detail in that, because that's kind of hard. You struggle with what to put into a story sometimes, and he has a really nice balance of there's enough, but there's not too much. Um, you're not bugging me, bro. Brandon. You're fine. Don't worry. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna read the questions from the last video. I haven't really looked at a whole bunch of them. Um, what was I about to say? One of the things I will say as a comparison to the show is I'm glad, I like that they aged the characters up for the show, because if I were just watching these kids doing all this stuff, it would be awkward. Like sometimes I'm reading this and I'm like, y'all are kids. Why are you thinking this way or doing this stuff? Like especially the stuff with Danny, with her getting married and everything. I'm like, oh, it's just cringeworthy. I'm glad they aged them up a little bit in the show, you know? Um, let's see. I like Jon Snow in the books. He's like sad and kind of broody. Like the scene with him in the Great Hall when they were having the feast after the king got there, and he was talking to Benjen and he almost broke into tears. I was like, oh, John, I feel so bad. I feel so bad for him with good reason, because Catelyn is a fucking bitch. I don't like her at all in the books. Like, I cannot stand her. She's an asshole. Okay, your husband had an affair. That's what she believes, and he brought a kid home. Um, okay, it's been some time. Get the fuck over it. It's not the kid's fault. It is not the kid's fault. Like, I cannot stand her. When John went to visit Bran before he left, and she was like, get out. What are you doing here? Bitch, that's my brother. I came to say goodbye to him. And then she looked at him before he left and said, it should have been you. Oh my God, I wanted to throw a stapler at her head so bad. Cat is horrible. Horrible. I just, I can't. Um, I feel really bad for Dany. I, you can feel it in the show, but I felt so bad for her because you can tell, like, she has no say in anything that's going on, and she's so young. I just felt so much bad. Book John is much smarter. He is. I like that you can tell, you can hear, not hear, but you can see his struggle with everything. One thing that's kind of throwing me off is the characters, the descriptions of them are kind of more cartoonish. But in this world with magic and everything, I guess it makes more sense. I'm kind of glad they didn't incorporate that. The lemon tree, oh, with her just wanting to go back to the house, was it with the red door with the lemon tree? Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. Just, I'm so mad. I just feel bad for Dany. I do. And then I forgot what I was gonna say. It left my head as it was coming out of my mouth. Ned, with him having the flashbacks of Lyanna right from the beginning, it's obvious that there's something you're missing right from the bat with him, with the Lyanna story, because he keeps having the Promise Me Ned flashbacks in the book, and it's like I'm only a couple chapters in, and you're already like, what are you promising her, Ned? What? Like, it's kind of obvious what's going on in the book, like right at the beginning. They left a lot of that out of the story in the show, and I'm kind of glad they did. I'm glad they did. Um, let's see. I love Arya, of course. I love Arya and Bran. He is very, very smart. You feel sorry for Viserys? Why? Well, he wanted to go home. He remembers, you know, being home and young and everything. So I can see that. But he's such a dick. He's such a dick. Um, Page 71, the end of Bran's chapter after Jaime pushed him out of the window. The last sentence of the chapter was beautiful. What was it? The crows circling above or something. I can't remember. Crows circled the broken tower waiting for corn. That was such a good sentence to end the chapter on. I love when there's like an overview shot of, you know what I mean? Like, I just love that sentence that the crows are waiting for him. They saw him and they were waiting for corn. I love that sentence. It's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, somewhere off in the distance, a wolf was howling. Ugh, love it. And the wolves are a lot more prominent in the books too. I like that his wolf was out. Bran's wolf was outside of his window, like day and night howling. Um, you can tell they have a much better connection than they let us know in the show. I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen with Dany and her dragons too, but it's very prevalent that they are like connected to their animals. What was there? Something else. Tyrion's love of dragons is so when they tell the story about him going to King's Landing and then finding all the dragon skulls and being the dragon bones are black in the book. Him hiding, he wasn't expecting to find them beautiful. So good. Robert is annoying as fuck. Why go get Ned to be your right hand, like the hand of the king, if you're not going to listen to his advice? Because Ned is telling him you don't want to make Jaime Lannister Warden of the East or West, one of them, because his father is already Warden of the west, east, whatever. So once Tywin dies, Jaime would have the east and the west. That's asking for trouble, and Robert's just not listening to him. What the fuck? Why? Like, what? Isn't that what you want me to do? If you want a yes man, you could have gotten somebody else. I don't understand Robert at all. He's just a fat drunken bastard. It's like, um, let's see. Rob, is he older than John? So Rob is older than John, right? Because there was a sentence when Ned was talking to Robert and they were talking about the mistress thing, and Ned said, oh, Robert said, God have mercy, you scarcely knew Catelyn. And he said, I had taken her to wife, she was carrying my child. So that implies she was already carrying a child when he had supposedly had this affair. So apparently Robert's older than John. I don't know why I kind of thought John was a little bit older, but do you like the fact the books are written POV? Yeah, how else? I don't know how else this would be written. Like, that would kind of be the only way you could get to know the characters very well, you know? But yeah, I kind of had the idea that John was older for some reason, but I mean, that makes sense. Let's see. He also put in here on page 51 in my book, by the way. I have the large hard copy. When John is talking to Arya, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. I can't read my own handwriting. I don't know what it is. John is talking to Arya, or one of them's talking to each other, and he said to Arya, she's sad that he's going to the Wall and she's going to King's Landing, and John said to her, different roads can lead to the same castle. Foreshadowing. He's gonna end up on the throne. Like, I'm excited. Let's see. Let me go through some of the comments really quick because I've been kind of ignoring some of you. Mostly. Usually like to read the movie show first. If I read the book, usually just pisses me off the things they've changed, but then it's yeah, if I read a book, I never watch the show or the movie ever. Like, that's just kind of my rule, because and I don't talk about people. I don't talk to people who like to compare the two and like nitpick about things, because it's two different venues, you know? Like, hard to read Tyrion's description because of peanut. See, like that. Separate them. It's a book. The book was written first, and that's what. Like, all these characters feel like caricatures of the actual of a human. You know, like they're all like overdrawn. Like Tyrion's with the big head and the wobbly legs and the paint. Like, he in real life, he's just a little man. So, favorite POV character so far? So far, John. Like, I'm digging John. I'm really digging John. Yeah, Dany's like, I don't know, Dany's young. Let's see. Well, it's kind of hard to find characters to fit an exact description. That's very, very rare. Lots of foreshadowing. Like, I'm assuming throughout this first book, is gonna be a lot of foreshadowing. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Reading this has made me more pissed off at Theon now, and I don't know if that's a good thing, because I was kind of like, okay, let's see who Theon becomes in the show, and then I'll forgive him. But reading Sir Roderick and Theon interacting and remembering that he chopped off Roderick's head, like he had to like, hack it off with the sword, I'm pissed at him again. So, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. The book is a lot more vivid than the show. That's, how it is. Ghost is huge in the books. Like, he is huge. And he's bigger than all the other direwolves. I mean, on the show, he's freaking ginormous. But, yeah, he's bigger than all the other ones. I don't know what to say. Originally, A Game of Thrones was supposed to be a trilogy, so some of the things foreshadowed, I think, have changed. She said as much. That happens a lot with, like, series, though, doesn't it? Like, the writers, like, envision a trilogy, because a trilogy is, like, a perfect, compact set, Like, you just envision it being a trilogy, and then you start writing, you're like, oh, damn, there are words that add up to a lot of pages, and I have a lot more than I thought I did. Like, a trilogy is, like, the perfect set, and then the imagination keeps going. Let's see. Are you surprised some of the bigger characters, Rob, Cersei, aren't POVs? I haven't even gotten to Sansa yet, so I don't know, but we'll see how they develop in the book a little bit more before because I probably won't care. I probably won't notice it. Least favorite character, Catelyn. Fucking I can't stand her, especially as like, I mean, I understand why she would be upset about that, but it's been some time. Get the fuck over it. Like, he's a kid and you're treating him like shit for something he had no control over. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. And then her saying, when she and Ned were talking about sending him to the wall so there would be no competition over Winterfell. We get it. You don't like him. He's a bastard though. So chill the fuck out. Like, I just silly. Adulthood started with the onset of sexuality. Yeah, I know. Like, but still, it's still gross. Um, no, I don't want to talk about the show as much. Like, I'm cringing at myself for even comparing things to the show right now because I like to keep things separate. But it's easier when you've read the book first and then watch the movie. Mm-mm. What's your opinion of the editing, mainly the seemingly rambling stories? I've published fantasy, and all my editors were very much in the less is more camp. I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I am doing my second edit of my book, and I was in the less is more camp until you start writing and you're like, you need this stuff. And how are you going to get people to engage in your characters and love them if you don't put more in? So it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I like more is more as long as it's not like descriptions of blades of grass. When you start getting into leaf color, you lose me. Like a lot of men writers that I don't read a lot of men writers honestly. A lot of men writers do that. I don't care about the fucking color of the leaf. It's a tree. It had leaves. Let's move on to the road where somebody just died underneath it. But I like more. I like knowing what's going on as long as we're not getting into like extraneous crap. I love dialogue too, so the more dialogue there is, the happier I am. Big change from the show. Kat is the one who forces Ned, yeah, to send Jon to the wall. Like, yeah, Lord of the Rings. Like, that just goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh my god. And I read that when I was like 9. It took forever, but I did it. And it fucking sucked. Maybe that's why, because I was, anyway. Um, about Rickon and Sans. I haven't gotten to them yet. So I think it becomes more of an issue later on as the stories get more bloated. The first book is pretty tight as far as the edit. You know what I did notice too? Um, because this just made me think back to the first seasons of the show. Like there were, I don't know if it was a budget thing, but when they first started the show, it felt more personal and like the screenshots were so tight and they did so much more with lighting. And the last few seasons they stopped doing a lot of that, and it kind of made me sad. Like it made me want to reminisce for these characters and the way the show was shot in the beginning as opposed to like the later seasons. Does that make sense? The greatest thing about the book is every little detail because it means something huge. Yeah. It's my, I always say, a writer does not put something in a book, especially in a TV show, if it's not for a reason. Like a lot of people are like my predictions about things were uncanny. They tell you what's gonna happen. Like they don't usually don't write something into a show unless it's a joke, action, or exposition for what's about to come. And that's the same with books. Like little details you think don't mean much, they always add up to something later on. So yeah, why are you yelling at me, Jay? Like, calm down. Take all them caps off. I've looked at the maps. Things make so much more sense, like with the road of where things are going. Like, I can tell now. um, I'm here for the food symbolism. I'm only here for the food. Um, when did you start thinking about R plus L equals J? That Did you not see that episode? It was season 6, episode 4. There's a whole 10 minutes of that video that I kept in so y'all can see me rambling like an idiot. Yeah. Um, don't read if you're hungry. I don't do anything if I'm hungry. Let's see. What do you think about the way Raymar Royce interacted with the others in the book? Dance with me then. Have I gotten to that? I probably did, and I just didn't write it down because I was like, Yeah, Ashara Dane has been mentioned. Oh, when Ned was like, "Don't talk about her again," and he shut that shit down fast. Because I mean, think about it. If that's a rumor, rumors can get around, and that could have ruined that girl's reputation. That would have been so bad for her for something that was so fabricated. Not to mention, they had just brought her Arthur Dane's sword, and she was his little sister. So why would she sleep with the man who had supposedly killed her brother? That doesn't make any sense. People are dumb. Okay, and the prologue. Yeah, the prologue. I was like, it was so different from the way it was in the show. I was like, oh man. Okay. They all died though. I like off-screen stuff though. Mons. Like I like off because it leaves you to think like, what the fuck happened? I like off-screen stuff. Uh, hello Palestine. Wow. Thank you for watching. Um, I can give you. I think I'm gonna go to. I don't know, because I mean they do things over and over. I'm going to page 300, which is right before, for the next reading, by the way, right before Daenerys. The last line. Let's see. The chapter before it is Eddard, and then it goes to Daenerys, and the last line is he remembered swallowing. There you go. And Pycelle was telling someone to heat the wine to boiling and fetch him clean silk, and that was the last he knew. So there you go. Eddard, right before Daenerys, is where I'm planning on stopping next time. That's actually 322. Because if I actually read, I can get stuff done. I was slacking the last couple of days. Originally, there were 3 Targaryens riding 3 dragons when they first conquered Westeros. Do you think the third Targaryen will still be revealed? Like, I don't know. I just start. Why are you hinting at things? Let me read the book. Dany is dying no doubt. I think so. Time was only definitely won't feel the urge to compare the books to the show. I hope not. Because it's kind of annoying me that I'm doing it so much. Hello, New Zealand. I don't know. Oh, I was going to read the questions from the last upload I did. I can't think. See, this is why I edit so much, because I can't think. I was going to read the questions from the last video, but do you want to keep that in a separate video? Or do you want me to do it now? Let me know. Yes, let me discover it myself. Like, stop hinting at things and trying to prompt me. Like, I'm gonna get it. Do you know me? You've been around for a while. You know I pick up on things. Like, you don't have to prompt me to notice things. I got it. What are your thoughts on Tyrion's acrobat skills? Well, he had to roll around and flip around somehow because his legs were always hurting. So the least impact and amount of stress you can do on your legs is to like jump from place to place and to flip around. It's probably very aerodynamic. Aerodynamic. I think people aren't reading with us. They're just interested in post-book 5 theories, etc. Yeah, chill out, people. I haven't gotten to most of the stuff you're talking about. Hey, Russia! Read the books! Um... Remember how much I enjoyed Cersei Bran of the set. I am such like Dave is calling me Targaryen now. He's like, calm your Targaryen, because I have zero patience. I have no patience. This is like at work when I do stuff. I have no patience. Or if I ask someone to do something for me and they don't do it exactly by when I need it or when the way I tell them I need it. This is why I work alone. Let's see. Yes, we're going to be doing season 7. I haven't watched any videos of anyone. I watched up to like season 3, I think, of Jimmy, but then I heard Debbie told me that they got like he got spoiled by something. I'm guessing about Jon Snow's parents. So I stopped watching his videos and I stopped watching everyone because I didn't want to get anything spoiled. So I don't like watching other stuff unless I'm ahead of them because I don't want to get other influences. I like thinking and coming to my own conclusions for myself in my own head and then talking about them with other people and then getting like other feedback. Can you not lick your butt while we're on TV or screen, whatever? Mm-mm-mm. I've already read the first episode. Like, I'm past the first episode now. Bran already fell out the window. We're past that now. Like, you see him? Like, really? Um, I'm not at the House of Undying yet. Why are we talking about that? All right. I'll probably do a separate video where we talk about Game of Thrones stuff and I read the questions. We talk about what we think is going to happen in season 7. I can't remember. What kind of notes are you making? Are they primarily for characterization, politics, or I'm just putting down things that interest me? like just like when I edit, I just put in the scenes that I find interesting. I just write down things that I want to remember and talk about with you all. That's it. Um, yeah, it's creepy that the characters are this young. It really is kind of freaking me out a little bit. But back then, people matured a lot faster and they died sooner. So, is there a difference in the tone of the book and the show? Uh, no, not much that I can tell so far. But again, I'm only a few pages in. So once we get like halfway, I should be able to tell if there's a difference. This is why I don't let you in. Do you see him? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I think you should put a topic to keep things and people straight. That's not gonna work because y'all don't follow directions. Because in the last video I said, hey, if you look in my description box, I have a list of shows I already have. So if you have something new, comment and let me know what I need to add to the list. And what happened? Nobody went to the description box. Y'all don't follow directions. You don't listen to me. Y'all want me to read your comments, but you don't want to read my description box. uh, yeah, my notes and bullet points are all over the place. That's the way I think because things intertwine with each other, so it's hard to really. I have to find a way to make this work the way I did with the show. Because of the show, I could make notes and then associate things with each other. But for the book, because they're doing different point of views and I'm getting new information, is I need to find a way to make it like merge better. Yeah, it totally changes it watching the show first. I hate doing it, but oh well. Let's see. All right, couple more questions and then we'll end it. And hopefully next week will be smoother. Stop telling me things. Grimm exaggerates everything. Yeah, he does. Everything is very exaggerated. Um, I noticed that. Like I said, with the characters, their descriptions, like this, they're just like it's very kind of it's very fantasy. It's very fantasy, and I wasn't expecting that. Has said the series have a bittersweet ending. Do you think that may include the death of beloved? Yeah, I've already talked about. Listen, um, Springchild, put your question right now, and I will answer it because it was scrolling. Sorry. Let's see. Are there any scenes or dialogue from the first chapters that you wish had not been cut out of the series? Here's the thing. I feel like the series cut out things, but it was to make the characters more ambiguous, so you had to decide for yourself if you liked them or not. In the book, it's very cut and dry. Who you like? Catelyn's a bitch. John you feel for. Arya's great. Robert's an asshole. He doesn't listen to Ned. It's very cut and dry. Like he tells you who you're rooting for, kind of. In the show, it was very left up to you. It was very gray, and you didn't have to have that given to you. You had to think of it for yourself, and I like that a little bit more. Not to say that I wanted to like characters more or less, but I wanted to make up my own mind about them. But they're so cut and dry, and who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, that you don't have to think about it. So, do you imagine TV characters, or are you trying to create new? I create new ones in my head. Do you think the books and the show are going to have the same ending? Probably not. Pup's name is Marley because he's bad just like the one in the movie. Yeah, Catelyn's a bitch. I was just suggesting that I think the character like descriptions are partly due to the fact that people tend to notice striking features when they meet someone new and we only get their point of view. Okay. Um, I mean, I get that, like, when you meet someone new, but he's telling you what he wants you to notice about them. So, yeah. uh, yeah, because again, I try to separate the book and the show as much as I can, so I try to just make up a whole new character in my head. The scenarios are kind of similar, but I try to just, like, not compare the two as much as I possibly can. Stannis. I don't know what that means. I like turtles. They smell, but okay. And they are hoping to be different in the books from what you've seen in the show. I'm thinking. Um, I just want to know more about the houses themselves. Like, I think I mentioned this in like season two that I wish there was more time spent at some of the houses so you can kind of get to know their way of life and maybe understand the way they're thinking a little bit more. And I hope to kind of get that. Like, now, since it is in POV, like, I'm hoping that the characters will let us know a little bit more about their background so I can actually understand them a little bit more. But that's about it. The part about Stark's finding direwolves is the first thing J.R. Martin wrote, and then he said he started writing the story around it. That's awesome that he started at the beginning. That's hard. That that's awesome that he started at the beginning. I would love to talk to him and see his process because when I write, it's like I know what the scene's gonna be and I start writing and it's like I'm in a room with them and I'm just writing down what happens and I follow them around. So I wonder if that's how his is too. Like so many everybody has a different way of doing things. I would love to be inside his head or just watch him think. Which characters you liked more in the book? So far, I like John more. You might be overwhelmed by how many houses and names are. Yeah, there's a lot. I saw the appendix at the back, so I was looking at that last night too. Do you think Ned should have prepared Catelyn about John before she returned home? I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I think she's bitter about him being there already, but I really don't think it would have made much of a difference. Like the fact that it's not her son, it's someone else's son, and it's going to compete with her kids for um, the house he could be competition is what is pissing her off. I don't think it matters how it was presented. It could be a filet mignon or on a very nice plate or on a garbage can lid. It doesn't matter. She doesn't like it. Like, yeah. Yeah. I read anywhere. Do I read in silence? I can read at a football game. I can read in a very dark room with one candle. I can read outside. Like I can read pretty much anywhere. Yeah. That's okay, Springchild. It would be really awful if the show and the books don't have the same ending because I mean the show is just cutting to the point while the books are way too complicated for TV. Agree or disagree? It depends on where they go with the story. Like I would assume they're gonna have the same ending because he is helping them. Like he's helping them along with the story, and I'm sure they talk to him because they are fans. But it wouldn't surprise me if they had a little bit of a different ending, or like characters ended up in different places, or I'm sure the feel of it will be the same, but I wouldn't be surprised. We stink, but okay. uh, um, okay. I think we're about done. For your birthday, ask for a world of ice and fire. That's the companion, right? Gives you more background on the history of Seven Kingdoms and blah 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 blah. I don't know, we'll see. Our birthday's in like a month, and David just bought me this whole book edition. So asking for more is a little greedy. I'll just buy it myself. Um, all right, that's about it. I think we're nearing the end. Arya's a minor character in terms of story at this point. I still love her. Sansa's getting on my nerves though. I haven't even read her first chapter yet, but the way she was sitting there all like lady like sewing with the other ladies and when Marcella was there, like I can already tell I don't like her. Okay. Why do you think Ned never trusted Kat with the truth about John? She would sell John out so fast. He knows his wife, and she's so. But because I said that before, like, why wouldn't he tell her at some point? But Kat's a bitch. In the book, she's such a fucking asshole. Like, no, I wouldn't tell her either. Nope. Just curious, how many times have you seen each episode now? I know you have to, yeah. During editing, like editing takes like 2.5 hours, sometimes three, because I have to go through and slice thing, then I have to go through it again to like cut it down for time, and then add pictures and like. So I mean, I may have only watched it like 2 or 3 times, but the second or third time is like 2 hours for one episode. Like I've watched them a whole bunch. Yeah, Cat would sell him out for nothing. Like just to see him dead. No. No, I hate cooking. I don't cook. I eat out. I think she'd understand if it actually wasn't Ned's bastard, but his nephew. But other people would still think it's his bastard, you know? She might understand, but that's still a risk of her. If something happening and Robert got mad at Ned, she would give John over to him if he's Targaryen, you know? Like, it's got cool artwork and family tables. Let's see. I think she would have kept that secret. I don't know. She's such a like I don't know. Ned would know his wife better than we would. So if he didn't tell her, I'm gonna trust that he thought that Catelyn wouldn't be good with that secret. He didn't tell her for a reason, and he promised his sister, his blood, that he was gonna keep his nephew safe. So I fully support him not telling her. At first, like when I just watched the show, I didn't understand it, but now reading her, just from reading her like 1 or 2 chapters so far, no, make her a liability in that situation rather than just not trusting her. All right, I can see that too. All right, that's it. It's 3:45. I have stuff to do, and that's it. So next time we're gonna be reading up to Daenerys, I guess. We're gonna stop at Eddard right before Daenerys, and that's it. Is there another one? Hold on. They're also short. Yeah. All right. I will see y'all next Wednesday. We'll have another talk. We'll just do this on Wednesdays. And what was I about to say? That's it. I'm gonna edit Westworld episode 9 tonight, and either live stream tomorrow, but that seems like very short notice, or maybe Sunday. So I will let you know. Probably Sunday. I'll let you know though. And that's it. I'll see y'all later. What? Are you going to be doing live streams for all episodes? Probably not. Okay, that's it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. I gotta turn this off. I never know how to turn things off.